Australia is a country of dramatic contrasts, where alpine valleys, red deserts, rugged coastlines, and lush mountain villages all exist within a single continent. Scattered across these landscapes are towns that offer some of the most breathtaking scenery in the country, places where the surrounding environment becomes part of everyday life. From the peaks of the Australian Alps to the windswept cliffs of the Great Ocean Road and the sun baked horizons of the outback, these towns place travelers directly in the heart of the landscape. Each destination offers its own distinct atmosphere, shaped by history, geography, and culture, while keeping unforgettable viewpoints, walking trails, and natural wonders just minutes from town. Bright, Victoria, sits along the Great Alpine Road in the foothills of the Australian Alps, where the clear waters of the Ovens River flow through a valley framed by mountain ridges. Tree-lined streets and riverside parks give the town a peaceful atmosphere, especially during autumn when the foliage transforms the valley into shades of gold, red, and orange. Bright began as a gold rush settlement in the mid-1800s, when thousands of fortune seekers arrived in the region searching the riverbeds and surrounding hills for gold. Today, traces of that era remain along quiet riverside trails where old mining relics and historic sites can still be discovered. The town has evolved into a popular alpine getaway, known for its cafes, boutique shops, and small markets selling regional wines, craft goods, and locally brewed beer. Just outside town, the landscape rises sharply into the granite peaks of Mount Buffalo National Park, where scenic drives lead to dramatic lookouts, waterfalls, and alpine walking trails. Adventurers come here to hike among massive rock formations, swim in natural pools, and explore waterfalls such as Ladies Bath Falls, while farther west, the towering slopes of Mount Bogong, the highest mountain in Victoria, dominate the horizon. Hundreds of miles away in the South Australian outback, the town of Coober Pedy offers a landscape unlike anywhere else in the country. Known as the opal capital of the world, this remote settlement produces the majority of the planet's precious opals. The surrounding terrain looks almost otherworldly, with dusty plains dotted by mine shafts, piles of excavated rock, and hills carved into unusual shapes. Because summer temperatures here can soar well above 40 degrees Celsius, residents developed an unusual solution: living underground. Many homes, hotels, restaurants, and even churches are built as dugouts, carved directly into the earth where temperatures remain naturally cool year-round. Visitors can stay in underground hotels, explore opal museums, and wander through carved rock churches that resemble hidden caverns beneath the desert surface. Above ground, the stark landscape has served as a backdrop for several science fiction films, thanks to its lunar appearance. At sunrise and sunset, the desert glows with deep orange and purple tones, revealing an ancient seabed that once covered the region more than 70 million years ago. On Australia's western coast, the historic port town of Fremantle blends maritime heritage with a vibrant modern culture. Located just a short train ride from Perth, Fremantle developed during the 19th century as a major shipping port and gateway to Western Australia. Much of the city's historic architecture has been carefully preserved, creating streets lined with Victorian-era buildings, old warehouses, and lively public squares. Walking through the historic center reveals layers of history, from colorful street art to bustling markets and waterfront cafes. One of the most significant landmarks is Fremantle Prison, a massive stone complex built by convicts in the 1800s. Guided tours explore its tunnels, cells, and dramatic escape stories that have become part of the town's folklore. Nearby stands the Walyallup Fremantle Arts Center, an imposing Gothic-style building surrounded by gardens and galleries that host exhibitions, live music, and cultural events. Along the harbor, fishing boats unload fresh seafood each day, and visitors can sit on sunlit decks overlooking the water while enjoying the laid-back coastal atmosphere locals simply call Freo. High in Queensland's Sunshine Coast hinterland, the small mountain village of Montville offers sweeping views that stretch from rainforest-covered hills to the distant coastline. Perched on the Blackall Range, Montville developed in the late 19th century and still retains the charm of a European-style mountain town. Main Street is lined with distinctive buildings inspired by Tudor, Irish, and Swiss architecture, giving the village a storybook appearance. Galleries, artisan workshops, and boutiques fill these buildings, showcasing handcrafted goods, sculptures, and paintings created by local artists. The creative energy of the town has earned Montville a reputation as one of the artistic centers of the Sunshine Coast region. Beyond the village streets, lush rainforest landscapes open up across the surrounding mountains. The nearby Sunshine Coast Hinterland Great Walk stretches for nearly 60 kilometers through forests and ridges with panoramic viewpoints. A short drive away, Condalilla National Park protects one of the region's most spectacular natural attractions, Condalilla Falls, where water plunges 90 meters into a rainforest pool surrounded by dense greenery and walking trails. Along Victoria's dramatic shipwreck coast, Port Fairy appears like a perfectly preserved seaside village from another era. Situated at the western end of the Great Ocean Road, the town is known for its wide streets, historic cottages, and peaceful harbor filled with fishing boats. Norfolk pine trees line the coastline, while stone churches and 19th century homes reflect the town's maritime heritage. Port Fairy developed as an important fishing port, and even today the harbor remains one of the busiest in the region, with fishermen unloading crayfish and abalone along the docks. Visitors can wander through art galleries, browse small shops, or simply enjoy the relaxed pace of life along the waterfront. Just offshore lies Griffith's Island, home to the Port Fairy Lighthouse, and accessible by a walking path that circles the island's grassy landscape. Wildlife is abundant here, with wallabies grazing along the paths and seabirds nesting along the coast. During winter months, southern right whales often appear in nearby waters as they migrate along Australia's southern coastline. Across the Bass Strait on the island of Tasmania, the town of Richmond offers one of the most complete glimpses into Australia's colonial past. Located a short drive from Hobart, Richmond feels like stepping back into the early 19th century. The town's streets are lined with sandstone buildings, Georgian homes, and historic landmarks that have remained remarkably intact for nearly 200 years. At the center of the town stands Richmond Bridge, the oldest surviving bridge in Australia. Built by convict labor between 1823 and 1825, the graceful sandstone arches span the Coal River and have become one of Tasmania's most photographed landmarks. Nearby, the old Richmond Courthouse and Richmond Gaol provide a window into the early days of colonial law and order. Today, many of the town's historic buildings house cafes, galleries, and boutique accommodations. Artists and craftspeople have been drawn to Richmond for decades, and their work fills the galleries and shops that line the village streets. At the start of one of the world's most scenic coastal drives lies Torquay, the surfing capital of Victoria and the official gateway to the Great Ocean Road. The town sits beside a sweeping stretch of sandy coastline where waves roll in from the Southern Ocean. Torquay has long been associated with surfing culture and is the birthplace of internationally known surf brands. The waterfront area features surf shops, cafes, and open plazas where visitors can browse the latest gear or simply enjoy views of the ocean. Nearby beaches offer different experiences depending on the conditions, from the calm waters of Front Beach to the stronger waves at Janjuk. Just a short drive west lies Bells Beach, one of the most famous surf breaks in the world and host of an annual international surfing competition. Scenic coastal trails wind along the cliffs above the ocean, leading to panoramic viewpoints and unique landmarks such as the Sundial Mosaic, an intricate installation made from more than 100,000 glass tiles depicting local stories, moon cycles, and native wildlife. Together, these 7 towns represent the incredible diversity of Australia's landscapes. From alpine valleys and rainforest mountains to historic harbors, desert settlements, and surf-washed coastlines, each destination captures a different side of the country's natural beauty and cultural history. Traveling between them reveals just how vast and varied Australia truly is, where one journey can pass from snowy peaks to sun-drenched beaches and from colonial villages to remote desert communities. Whether exploring the mountain air of Bright, the underground world of Coober Pedy, the artistic streets of Montville, or the surf coast of Torquay, these towns offer unforgettable windows into the landscapes that define Australia.